In this video, I will show you how to make a broken out section on the alignment guide. And the reason we're going to do a broken out section is that we have these two holes in the top view, and we need to locate where they're at and what their diameters are. But because they intersect on an inclined plane, this plane right here, in the top view they look elliptical, and they also are not located the true distance from the edge. For example, if I put a dimension in from this edge to the center of that hole and bring it down here, it tells me that that's 0.50. And while it may actually be 0.50 if measured along a flat plane like the XY plane, the distance from this corner to there is actually farther than that. So if I go from here to there and bring that out as you want a dimension type, I want an align dimension there, the true distance is supposed to be 0.58. But in order to put the 0.58 on here, that would require me to dimension to the center of a hidden hole, which breaks one of the rules of ASME. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this dimension on, but in order to comply with the rules, I'm going to create a broken out section so that the sides of this hole are actually visible lines and not hidden lines, and that makes it okay for me to dimension to that. So here's the steps to creating the broken out section. The first thing you want to do is pick this view with your left click button. So when you pick on it, you'll see that there's the dotted lines that define the edge of the view. And then at that point, what we want to do is come up here and go to Sketch and start a 2D sketch. So we're going to create a 2D sketch on this view. And so we're going to pick the line command, and I'm just going to pick below my part and over to the left a little bit on that view. I'm going to come across over, I guess, to about right here, just with a straight line, and I'm not on the actual view yet. And then I'm going to come into here, and I'm going to just create some zigzag sort of lines, and that's partly what's going to give the effect that this is broken. So I'm going to pick right about there so you can see the broken lines that I have, and then I just need to come across outside of my view and then come back to the start point and pick like right there. And at that point I can come right up here and pick on Finish Sketch. All right. Now what I want to do is go to the Place Views tool and come up here and choose Breakout. And takes a second. When I do that, I should get a dialog box to open up. First I've got to select a view. You pick on Breakout. If you look right down here, it says Select a View. So I have to pick this view. Now my dialog box opens up. And I can pick on Boundary, and I can choose this boundary right here. And that's the only boundary really it's going to see there. And when I pick From Point, I can pick on this, but one of the things I want to choose here is the depth. And I want to go halfway through this part right here. And the depth in that case is going to be 1.25. And the reason for that is that the full distance from here to here is 2.5. So I'm going to go half that distance, and that would cut it right down through the middle of that hole. Now when I pick on From Point, I want to go choose any point, but I'm going to pick inside my sketch window there. And everything should be good to go at this point. And I'm going to pick OK. So I've got my profile from point to a depth of 0.125, and I'm going to pick OK. And what it does is it creates my broken out section. So you can see those zigzag lines I drew. And if you don't like the shape of those, you'd have to go back in and edit your sketch. But I want to point something out to you. The sketch actually does show up right over here, and here's the breakout. So those show up in the browser that you have. Now, once you've broken that, and it's not hidden lines any longer, you could go to your Annotate, and you could do a dimension from this point to right there, and you want to come out, and we want to do this as a line. If it just goes to horizontal or vertical dimensions, right click, go to dimension type and choose aligned, and that will allow you to come out from your apart. Now remember, we want this to be at least 0.4 inches from here out to here. And the other thing that I always like to do, I'm going to press escape. I like to drag this dimension to the left a little bit because I want to have a landing on this dimension. So there's my 0.58. I might be able to force it inside. Doesn't look like it wants to let me, like it thinks there's enough room to force it inside. The other thing that I can do now is actually put the diameter of this hole on this view, again, because it's more elliptical up here in the top view. So let me delete that dimension out. I know I don't want that dimension anymore. So I'm going to go to dimension, and this time I want to pick on this edge and this edge, and Inventor is usually smart enough to know that I'm actually dimensioning a diameter. So again, I want to come out at least, approximately 0.4 and press escape, and then I want to drag this out and have a landing here. Now, I would like to make the landings about the same length, and usually you want the landing to be about 1/4 inch long, and so we know this is about 1/4 inch right here. And so at this point, I have been able to dimension the hole that up here was not at its true location and was elliptical, and now I can put a true diameter onto that hole. And all of this complies with the ASME-Y 14.5-2009 dimensioning standard. All right, so I'm going to end the video at this point.